Hi, this is Mark News from Plant Talk Radio. Thanks for subscribing and listening to our podcast, Your Gardening Questions from Plant Talk Radio. If you have a gardening question you'd like our host Fred Howard to answer, send him an email. The email address is fred@planttalkradio.com. Now for today's question. Is it too early to start planting the fall bulbs?
No, by all means not. However, you can wait as much as 6 weeks yet. The only thing I try to avoid is frozen ground. Now, let me explain it a little bit, Mark. Bulbs planted, first of all, they're available now, or in most places they're available. It is perfectly okay to plant them now because a bulb goes in the ground, as you see it, and as we talked earlier, you measure the bulb depth to the base of the bulb where it sits in the ground, etc. Now, they will form some root this fall out of that basal stem, which is what it is. That'll get them settled in quite nicely. However, I have been told by bulb-oriented people that some plant too early. They would rather have them wait until early October and on in through to mid-November as it starts to freeze. So, by all means, it's not too early. However, some feel they get too far advanced prior to winter if you plant right now. But for heaven's sakes, avoid what I did one time. I got them early. I was so pleased with myself instead of being all late on something. And I put them in a bag in the garage. Fall went on fast. Mm-hmm. And along about the middle of January after the holiday period, I was exploring things in the garage, and lo and behold, there they were. Yeah. And at that point, I went out on a, warmish day in January, kind of muddy on the surface, and literally pushed them down into the soil and thought, we'll see. Well, I don't recommend wasting your time that way. Just throw them out. But at the same time, I did have a number of flowers, 1/4 the size they should be. Yeah. They were only 1/4 as tall as they should be. So I had some color, but do get them planted before you forget they're in the garage, and that just doesn't work. But yes, Mark, I would tend to wait myself though till early to middle October or a little later even.
Hey, thanks again for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our other podcasts as well, the Plant of the Week podcast and the Plant Talk Radio podcast, all on iTunes or your favorite podcast player. If you'd like to sponsor a daily podcast, contact us at fred@planttalkradio.com. To find out more about Fred Howard and Plant Talk Radio, visit our website, planttalkradio.com.
Circle270media.com